Hey guys, this is Fuller and welcome to another new Hearthstone Heroes. This time I'm stepping into the Diablo universe with none other than the Lord of Terror. Blizzard have said they are considering one day bringing in some Diablo and StarCraft characters to the game, or perhaps even making a separate game. So if they ever do, here's a sample of what it could look like. Remember to check out the other videos if you haven't already. So far we've got the Death Knight, a Pirate Hero and the Dragon Hero. First off, I just wanted to give you a little preview of what it could look like in game. A guy called Dexista371 put this up in DeviantArt. It's Malthael versus Diablo. You can see the heroes, the hero powers, some minions, and he even made an entire custom board behind it. I think it looks amazing. A closer look, you can see it in even more detail, and the card backs. You might recognise some of the minions like Butcher and King Lyric. I tried to include all these iconic characters as well as the demons and monsters you face in the game. Let's go on to the hero itself. Here's how he could look in game. His class would be the Lord of Terror. And if you're not keen on the Diablo 3 art, here's another one. This one's from the Heroes of the Storm. I prefer this one, just need to replace that purple background. Let's go on to the hero power. It is Firestorm. It deals 2 damage randomly split amongst other characters. It's like a cross between Hunter and Mage's hero power. Note that it can destroy your own minions, so you need to be very careful, and also pre-plan out when you're intending to use it. It could always be made to also deal 1 damage to yourself, if it turned out to be too strong and imbalanced. So now let's briefly go over the hero theme. Just like Warlock, he has a tribal theme of demon minions, as well as a few cards that interact specifically with demons. Just like the hero power, a lot of the spells hit everything, including your own minions. Diablo cares very little for his own minions, I wanted to emphasize that. Lastly, for the minion mechanic speciality, Enrage was just perfect. Not only does it combo exceptionally well with the hero power, it also is generally unused amongst the other heroes, and it fits well with the Hellish theme. Moving on to the cards themselves, I'll start off with the minions. The first one is Rotting Flesh Heap. For 1 mana, he's 1/3 with Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to all characters. Quite similar to Leper Gnome, but more defensive, and really helps out versus rush decks. You'd have to be careful as it damages yourself and your minions as well. Next is Fallen Shaman. For 2 mana, he's 2/3 with Enrage, adjacent minions have +2/+1. For comparison, think of Dire Wolf Alpha. He's a bit tougher, but his Enrage needs to be triggered for the stat bonus. Regardless, a decent 2-drop, and he goes very well with your hero power. Any minions you play get considerably stronger. On to Hellspawn. For 3 mana, he's a decent 4/3, and whenever you summon a minion, give it Enrage +1 attack. The obvious similarity is Warsong Commander. Charge, however, is a lot stronger, so he has better stats and can affect any minion you summon. A really cool aspect of this though is that Enrage can stack up. If you have dropped, say, an Armani Berserker after this, you would now have Enrage +4 attack, and the same applies with all other Enrage minions. Next is Defiler. For 1 mana, he's 0/4 with Enrage +2 attack. Stat wise he's pretty pathetic, but if you can trigger the Enrage before he takes too much damage, he becomes very cost efficient. He's similar to Armani Berserker, but a cheaper 1-drop. If you played him turn 2 and went into a turn 2 hero power, you could end up hitting Defiler twice, so having just a 2/2 and nothing else. It'd probably be best to combine him with cards like Mad Bomber and other similar ones. This is my favourite minion, it's Hellportal. For 3 mana, it's 0/4. Whenever this minion takes damage, put a random demon from your deck into your hand. You can compare it to Acolyte of Pain as well as Summoning Portal. It has no attack, so you're relying completely on your opponent to damage it, or by using your own spells and effects to trigger it. The hero power is the obvious primary combo, but when you see the spells later, you see how easy it is to get a combo going. The weakness of this card would be that you can only draw demons, so you pretty much have to build a demon deck completely around this. Here we have Dark Cultist. For 1 mana, he's 2/1. Death Rattle, both players gain an empty mana crystal. Similar to Loot Hoarder, the difference is both players benefit from the Death Rattle. Ideally, you'd want your enemy to kill him in his turn, so when it comes to your turn, you'll have an extra mana to spend. If, for example, you played him turn 1 and he died on your opponent's turn, you'd then have 3 mana on turn 2, and the opposite would go if you suicided him on your turn. So a bit of pre-planning would definitely benefit you. Next we have a very defensive minion, it's Corkswall. For 2 mana, it's 1/7 with Tool. At the start of your turn, destroy this minion. Pretty close to Voidwalker, a strong wall to soak up damage and keep you alive. It has the stats of Mogashan Warden. The obvious downside is it only lasts 1 turn, and if you silence it, you'll lose the taunt as well. But with so many spells that damage everything, it's good to have a few minions that are completely expendable. We're now getting onto those iconic characters. First off, it's Skeleton King, aka King Lyric. For 3 mana, he's 2/2. With Battle Cry, summon 2 1/1 skeletons with charge. At the end of your turn, destroy them. You can compare him to other 3-drop summon minions like Harvest Golem, and also other Battle Cry summon minions like Silverhand Knight. The charge is a nice little touch, letting you clear off enemy minions. If you had, for example, an Enraged Fallen Shaman, they deal some serious damage. Just remember, they die at the end of your turn. One little discrepancy is that I classified him as a demon. Technically, I guess I shouldn't, or he should be classified as undead, but I didn't see it as a huge deal. This is my second favourite minion, it's Oblivion Knight. For 4 mana, it's 3/5, enraged, spell damage, +2. It's very similar to Ogre Magi, the difference is you don't get the spell damage immediately and it needs to be triggered. The 5 toughness though makes him a very solid 4-drop. Again goes very well with the hero power, and the spell damage +2 is really a lot. Next is Fallen Angel. For 5 mana, it's 4/5 with Battle Cry, deal 1 damage to a character, it cannot heal until the start of your next turn. Kinda like the opposite of a Dark Scale healer, dealing damage instead, or like an Eldor Peacekeeper, it can be used to trigger Enrage on your minions, and also from preventing your enemy from healing them. But primarily on the enemy hero, it can be devastating, preventing any healing. It might be too strong, and perhaps a little bit un-Hearthstone-like. If that's the case, I'd make it only be able to target minions. This demon killed me many times in Diablo 1, it's the Butcher. For 5 mana, he's 4/6 with Enrage, Charge and Wind Fury. Quite similar to Leroy Jenkins, but not as reliable. You need to damage him the turn you play him, but if you can, he can deal 8 damage straight up. But even a turn after, a damage 4/6 with Wind Fury can be pretty formidable. Now finally we're on to the legendaries. This time I made 2 legendaries, and you can just pick which one you prefer. The first one is Mephisto, Diablo's brother, the Lord of Hatred. For 7 mana, he's 2/9, and whenever this minion takes damage, deal 1 damage to all enemies. You can compare him to Archmage Antonidas. He's very resilient with a lot of health, but has very low damage output. To get the full effect, you'll need to take as much damage as possible on him. He can wipe the enemy's board and gradually deal a lot of damage. The alternative legendary is Baal, Diablo's other brother, the Lord of Destruction. For 7 mana, he's 5/5 with Enrage. At the end of your turn, summon a Baal. He's similar to Hogger. If you just get 1 damage on him, he can begin to spawn a lot of himself. Both legendaries go completely with the hero power and benefit from it enormously. It's tough to call which of the 2 would be better, so I'll let you guys decide. What do you think? Time for the spells. The first one is Soulburn. For 1 mana, it deals 1 damage to a character, and it cannot heal until the start of your next turn. Basically the Fallen Angel's ability in a cheap 1 mana spell. It could be compared to Mortal Coil. Can be used to trigger any of the enraged minions this class has, or cast on the enemy hero, especially late game. This one's similar to the hero power, it's Rain of Fire. For 3 mana, it deals 4 damage randomly split amongst other characters, and you draw a card. So it randomly damages anything except your hero, including your own minions. You can compare it to Shield Block for the effect plus card draw, or Hellfire for an area damage. Obviously best used when you have no minions on the board. Next is Lightning Breath. I hated facing this in Diablo 2. For 3 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion and 3 damage to the enemy hero. An OK removal which also wears down the enemy hero, putting on pressure, building tempo. Onto Terror. For 2 mana, silence a minion and restore 4 health to your hero. Diablo feeds off the terror installed into mortal beings. Similar to Holy Light except less versatile, you cannot heal minions with this, but being able to silence and heal yourself partially can be useful. Next is Demon Sacrifice. For 1 mana, destroy a demon and equip a 2/3 weapon. It's like Sacrificial Pact. Instead of health, you gain some damage output. An early game, free attacks can help maintain board control, and you never know, you might face Jiraxxus one game. Another demon spell, it's Curse of Agony. For 2 mana, choose a character and at the end of your turn, deal 4 damage to it. Similar to Eviscerate, it's very mana efficient for damage, but you can't clear a taunt minion if you're intending to attack that turn. Next we have Annihilate. For 7 mana, destroy 2 random minions and deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Kind of a more aggressive Siphon Soul. Note that it can destroy your own minions as well. Ideally you'd cast it with no minions on an empty board. It can really bring you back into the game. This one's interesting, it's Metamorphosis. For 2 mana, choose a minion, put a copy of it in your hand. If it's a demon, it costs 1 less. Similar to Preparation, but more of a minion version. Want even more bales? Well, this is the card for you. The last spell is Apocalypse. For 8 mana, deal 4 damage to all other characters and restore 4 health to your hero. Pretty close to Twisting Nether, but not a guarantee or destroy all enemy minions. Like many of the other spells, it can harm you a lot. The life swing is very big though, 4 damage to the enemy hero and 4 restored to you. So there you have it, Diablo in Hearthstone. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, there's 3 other heroes to check out. Let me know what other heroes you'd like to see, leave a comment or like and subscribe guys. Thanks for watching and see you all next time.